Have you ever been just scrolling, killing time, and then all of a sudden this wave of anxiety just washes over you? Yeah, you are definitely not alone. Today we're diving into a fascinating study that really gets to the heart of why social media can be so stressful. And we're going to do it by looking at university students in Kathmandu to understand something that's happening all over the globe. Let's get right into it.
You know that feeling, right? You're scrolling through your feed and it's just endless photos of parties you missed, incredible vacations, huge career wins. If you've ever felt that little pang of dread that your life just doesn't measure up, well, that feeling has a name, and it's at the absolute core of what we're talking about today.
And there it is, FOMO, fear of missing out. It's not just about missing one party. It's this deeper, kind of nagging worry that literally everyone else is living a better, more exciting, more fulfilling life than you are. And the main trigger for this feeling? Well, it's those perfect highlight reels we see on our screens every single day.
So, here's the game plan. We'll kick things off by looking at a specific case study in Kathmandu. Then we'll unpack the social pressures at play, dig into the emotional cost of it all, see how students are actually coping, and finally, we'll zoom out to the big idea behind everything.
Okay, so we're zeroing in on 121 university students in Kathmandu, Nepal. Their experiences give us this incredible window into the bigger global issue of social media anxiety.
So how much time are we really talking about? Get this. A solid 3 to 4 hours a day. That was the most common answer. For a lot of them, that's just the baseline. This isn't just a quick check-in. Social media is a huge part of their daily lives.
And here's the digital playground where they're spending all that time. YouTube is king, but look how close Facebook and Instagram are. Both are used by over 70% of students. And with TikTok right there too, it's so clear that this is a world dominated by visual content, which is a really key ingredient for everything we're about to discuss.
So why are they on there so much? Well, it really boils down to two things: entertainment and social connection. This is where they go to have fun and to connect with their friends. And that's exactly why peer pressure and comparing yourself to others is so powerful in this space. This isn't some professional network. It's the heart of their social world.
All right, let's connect the dots here. This anxiety we're talking about, it's not just some personal struggle. The study argues it's a social phenomenon. It's fueled by this constant pressure to perform for our peers. And to really get that, we need to look at two big ideas from sociology.
First up, there's this idea of the looking glass self. Think of it this way. A huge part of who we think we are comes from how we imagine other people see us. Social media just puts that on steroids. It gives us instant, constant feedback through likes, comments, and shares. It's like having this digital mirror held up to you 24/7, reflecting back your social score.
And then we've got dramaturgical analysis. This is the idea that all of social life is basically a performance. On social media, you're always on the front stage. You're constantly curating this perfect, idealized version of yourself for your audience. It's a performance that truly never ends.
And the data really backs this up. The study found that over half the students, 51.3% to be exact, are regularly comparing their own lives to what they see others posting. So it's not just passive scrolling. It's this active and often pretty stressful game of constant comparison.
Now this is where it gets really interesting. Look at this. While about a third of students feel the pressure to actively post stuff, way more, over half, feel the pressure just to be visible and active. So the anxiety isn't even necessarily about creating the perfect post. It's about the nonstop pressure to just be there, to be present on that digital stage.
So, what's the real emotional toll of living in this digital pressure cooker? Let's look at what the students themselves said about how all this performing and comparing actually makes them feel.
Wow. I mean, these numbers are pretty stark. A whopping 42% feel tense when they can't check their phones. More than a third find it hard to concentrate on their studies because of social media. And almost a third are often or always overthinking how they're coming across online. This is not some minor distraction. It's a major source of day-to-day anxiety.
But, and this is a big but, it is not all doom and gloom. Students are fighting back. They're not just passive victims here. They're actively figuring out ways to manage all this stress and find a healthier balance.
And here are their strategies. They're taking back control by limiting their time online, doing digital detoxes where they just unplug completely, and importantly, leaning on their real-world friends and family for support. They're also actively curating their feeds to be more positive, to focus on well-being.
So let's pull all this together. What is the big takeaway from this whole study?
Well, it really challenges us to completely reframe how we think about social media anxiety.
And it boils down to this one crucial idea. If you feel anxious or get FOMO from social media, it is not a personal weakness. It's not something wrong with you. It is a completely normal reaction to the social worlds that these platforms have built.
This quote from the study's conclusion just nails it. These feelings are socially patterned outcomes. In other words, they are a direct result of the culture we're in, the unspoken rules of the internet, and that relentless pressure to perform a version of ourselves online. And that leaves us with one final question to think about. We've seen how this all plays out for students in Kathmandu, but these dynamics, they're universal. So it's worth asking yourself, what are the unwritten rules of your online spaces? And how do they end up shaping what you see, what you share, and maybe most importantly, how you feel?